Good morning, teacher. My name is Alison Morillo, and I'm going to explain waste recycling proposal for the Condado neighborhood. First, I will start with a phrase of recycling that is, recycling is not just an action, it is the preservation of the world and its resources. We can continue with the objectives of this proposal that is, first, conservation or saving of natural resources. Second, decreasing the volume of waste to be disposed of. Third, environmental protection. Fourth, decrease the volume of waste since what is recycled and what can be reused. To enter with this topic, we can know what is recycling. We live in a consumerism society, and today's human beings satisfy their needs by acquiring the products they need, whether they are food, clothing, or any type of material object. The products we buy are usually packed or batched. So, in addition to the product itself, we take plastic, paper, cardboard, and other packing materials that have no further use, and we simply discard them. With the passage of time, products also have to be replaced, either because their useful life has come to an end, or because have deteriorated, become damaged, or are simply no longer needed. All this generates a large amount of waste of all kinds, which is released into the environmental. It causes a real pollution problem and negatively affects ecosystems. At the present, the overexploitation of natural resources is making them increasingly scarce, and the overpopulation of the planet is increasing to demand for resources. With fewer and fewer resources and a growing population, what will we do in the future to survive? In order to raise awareness, it is necessary to have a clear and concise notion of the subject to be sensitized. In this case, we are talking about recycling, and we will explain in a simple way what is meant by recycling. Recycling transforms used materials that will other ways by a simple ways into valuable resource. The collection of used bottles, cans, newspaper, etc. are reusable, and hence taking them to a collection facility is the first step in a series of steps that generates a large amount of financial, environmental, and of course social benefits. Some of some of these benefits accrue both locally and globally. Recycling means subjecting a used material to a process so that it can be reused. Recycling can also be defined as the recovery of waste for the manufacture of new products. Recycling is essential to mitigate the impact of demand in the environment, in addition to allowing us a significant saving of raw material, reduces energy and water cost, as well as reducing waste generation and thereby helping to reduce the pollution of the planet we inhabit. But why is it important to recycle paper? Paper recycling is important because it reduces the number of trees that have to be cut down to make paper. An average for every ton of paper and cardboard that is recycled, 18 trees are not cut down. Facts about the importance of recycling paper. As we all know, plants and in particular trees are of essential importance in preserving life and ecosystem in Earth. Trees are responsible for producing the oxygen to breathe. Half of the planet's forests have been razed to the ground. Of these that remain, 80% are in very poor condition. The less paper we consume and the more we reuse and recycle, the fewer trees will be cut down for their production, which in turn will have an impact on the care of and the conservation of the environment. Other reasons why we should recycle paper on a regular basis are the following. It favors the saving of water and energy used in manufacture of paper. During the recycling process, less quantities of this precious resource are consumed. It reduces the use of chemical products for its elaboration and the need to condition new space to dump the waste derived from the production of the paper. It improves the quality of the air we breathe. It reduces the risk of suffering heart and respiratory diseases, contributes to the preservation of animal, plants, and species. It generates awareness and responsibility in our closest social circles, and in addition, it broadens to concept the global citizenship, which aims at the creation of wide networks of people committed to the environment. It reduces soil contamination. On the other hand, the paper industry generates 25% of the greenhouse gases that are favoring to the destruction of the ozone layer. The planet means protection against the sun ultraviolet radiation. But for this process of recycling papers, we can know papers that can be recycled. Papers that can be recycled are telephone directories, envelopes, continued paper, printing and writing paper, catalogs, brochures, computer lessons, newspapers, books, magazines, packaging, folders and subfolders, and cardboard packings. Papers that cannot be recycled, waxed paper, adhesive labels, hygienic sanitary paper, food paper used in butchers and fleshmore shops. Grease stained paper are cardboard, thermal wax paper, photographic paper, tetra bricks, plastic bags, gummy paper, gift wrapping paper, glue paper. When paper is recycled, it is reduced to pulp by mixing it with chemical solvents to separate the paper's fibers and remove all non-paper materials. Subsequently, the pulp is centrifugate, separate the material according to their density. Uses of recycled paper. It is estimated that the cellulose fiber in paper can be reused up to 6 times. This lowers the cost of paper, so more and more companies are using recycled paper. Lower quality recycled paper is used more to manufacture or picking and boxes, while higher quality recycled paper is used as office and consumer material. Ecological paper should not be confused with recycled paper. Ecological paper is so called because the amount of energy and natural resources used in this production has been reduced, and its bleaching is carried out using oxygen or its derivatives, or using other process in which chlorine is not used. Some companies produce recycled paper with seeds inserted between the fibers. The purpose is that when the use of paper is finished, the pieces containing seeds are planted. Some of them give rise to food plants, other to flowers. The first time this type of power was made was in Japan, as an initiative of the Mainichi newspapers. Um, It launched a special edition of this paper writing with vegetable ink and in which a large number of seeds were inserted. Once you finish reading the newspaper, you could plant the pieces of paper containing seeds. This idea reached Europe, and nowadays there are several companies that sell flavoring paper or green pencils, which can be planted once they are worn out. Undoubtedly, a good gift for all people and children, also to make a self gift, so necessary many times on dessert every day. Thank you for watching this video of waste recycling proposal for the Condado neighborhood.